Alright, so I'm going to head up and do a 3,000 metre race today on the track. It's just the local Interclub. It's organised by Athletics South down here in Hobart. I'm a little bit nervous. I didn't think I would be, but when I think back, I haven't actually run within about 20 seconds a kilometre in training of the pace I'm going to try and run today since January. So it's been about 10, 11 months, something like that. I mean, there's been the odd race, obviously, where I've run faster than that, 10k races mainly, but trying to hit like low 3 minutes a kilometre, yeah, it's a little bit out of my wheelhouse at the moment. So I don't really know how my body's going to respond to that. It's definitely going to be a rust buster, bit of a shock to the system. I'm also a little bit nervous about wearing spikes. I've been umming and ahhing all week, and I've kind of decided that I might as well take the risk. It's probably better to do it in a 3k race because I'm going to have to do it later on in the season in 5k races, and I probably don't want to be whacking on spikes for the first time in a 5k race, so probably better just to get it out of the way now in a 3k. Yeah, I don't know if the competition's going to be particularly strong. There's the Point to Pinnacle tomorrow in Hobart. It's a race that's a half marathon straight up a mountain. It climbs 1,270 metres in the space of a half marathon, so it's about 6% average grade the whole way. I have no interest in doing that. I like racing flat races that are fast, but lots of people will be doing that, so it kind of takes a bit of the competition away. Anyway, I guess I better get ready. Alright, so just doing a bit of intensity in the warm-up, doing 2x200 with a 30-second recovery. Yeah, get stuck into it. This is gonna be hard. Oh, the spikes. Yeah, I'm going with the spikes, so I'm gonna risk it. Anyway. Go, Paul. Go, Paul. Well, that was absolutely horrible. I ran like an idiot, basically. Seems to be that no matter how old you get and no matter how experienced you think you are, you still have to relearn, or I do anyway, have to relearn the same lesson, which is don't go out too hard because you will blow up. I just committed to the group thinking, yeah, I'll be alright, I'll just see what happens, and what happened was it was too fast. So I went 3:01 through the first kilometre, and then 3:09, and then I think I ran a 3:16 last K. I don't know exactly what the time was yet. I think it was about 9:26, which is the slowest 3K I've run for a couple of years at least. So it was slower than any 3K I ran last season, but I don't think I ran as stupidly last season. So if there is any kind of silver lining, it's that I think I've learnt my lesson for next week at least, to not go out that fast. So I'm still looking forward to doing the 5k next week, but yeah, I'm definitely not going to run it like that. A little bit more caution should be what I'll practice next week. I could just feel, maybe going through the first 200, I saw the clock at 36 and I thought, oh, this doesn't feel too bad. And that feeling lasted for about 10 seconds, and then I was just hanging on for dear life. I felt like pulling out after about 400 metres, but still committed to hanging on. I knew there was no one behind me, so I kind of had to go with the group, otherwise I was going to be by myself, and to be honest, I probably should have just dropped off earlier. Anyway, what happened happened. It was dumb. I'm not immune from being stupid, and yeah, try not to make the same mistake again for the rest of the season. So yeah, coming through 2K, I think I went through in about 6:10, so I knew I was just bleeding time, but progressively got slower from there as well. And then just ahead of me, with about 900 metres to go, there's a guy that dropped out. And I can remember thinking, oh, that would be so nice to do that. Just thinking about it as well, if I take out all the races that I've done this year that were hilly, things like that, where it's impossible to really run a personal best. That's the first race this year where I haven't run a personal best. So yeah, it's the worst performance in more than a year. I guess that's the ups and downs of running. You think you've got it all figured out, and then you run shit. And then you think, okay, I've lost it. I don't know what's going on now. What do I do? So I've had a little bit more time to think, and I can see the results now. So I finished 4th in 9:26.23. Well done to the guys ahead of me, Nikolai, Dan and Gabe. Yeah, they tailed me up today. They were too good. But it's really good with these track races with Athletic South because they provide you with your splits through the finish line. And it becomes obvious why I felt okay going through the first 200 metres, but then just felt awful. And that kind of wave of lactate, I would almost describe it, it's kind of like nausea in a way, where it kind of fills you up. It's that sickly feeling that's kind of tickly and isn't very nice. I felt like I was just getting more and more rigid, and my stride was just getting shorter and shorter, and there was nothing I could do about it. I just had to grind my way to the finish. It was from 1K where I really dropped off, but I was feeling bad before that, and I was just trying to force myself to hang on to the guys at the front. But in hindsight, I should have just let them go after 200 meters. Looking at the splits, I went through the first 200 in 37.37, and I think that would have been about the right pace. That's pretty much 74 a lap. That would have given me 9:15. I think if I had have stuck to that pace, maybe I could hold it. Maybe I'd drop off a little bit, but then pick it back up again in the last lap. That's typically what happens in 3K races. Maybe you lose a little bit through the middle portion of the race, but then you can pick it up again in the last lap, and then you bring yourself back under for a PB. The problem is, though, that the pace picked up after that first 37.200. The next 400 was 72, and then I did another 72. And that was fine for the guys in front, but I should have just let them go again. Another mistake on my part, which I think in 3K races, it's tough because you don't have as much time to think about it, and seeing the group ahead of you and no one behind for a long way, you have a decision to make there, and I think I made the wrong decision. But I haven't paid too heavy a price. It's a 3K race. It's over with. I can race again next weekend and try and put a good performance on the board there. Try and redeem myself. I guess I shouldn't take it too seriously. It's a bit of fun after all. I am a hobby jogger. Hobby joggers do dumb things. But I guess, yeah, I'll see you next week and I'll do it all again. And hopefully we get a better outcome.